Well, now we're gonna go explore Route 7, and this is just off to the northeast of Mistral. Now, one of the first things you can do here is talk to this battle girl or whatnot, and she'll give you TM57, Charge Beam. It's a pretty nice special-based electric type attack that has a very high chance of raising the user's special attack by one stage. So you can use it gradually, and it will, well, it'll raise your Pokemon's special attack. It's quite nice, especially since you don't have access to very many good electric type attacks at this point in the game, other than perhaps Volt Switch, but you know, that kind of comes with a cost. So all of the battles on Route 7 here are going to be fought in the rain because it's rainy weather. Darn it, you paralyzed me with Lick. How dare you? And look at that, I'm paralyzed. I can't move. What a ripoff. The nice thing about the rain is it weakens your fire, well, all fire Pokemon's... I'm paralyzed again. All fire type attacks. It lowers their power. I'm sorry. Now we got it. Sensible. And it does raise all of your water type attacks. And your opponent's water type attacks too. So basically, if you started with like Tepig or something... Wow, look at all that experience. I can't go anywhere if I'm stopping. If you started with Tepig and you're using like an Emboar or a Pignite at this point, you might be out of luck because your attacks aren't going to do that much unless you use your fighting type ones. Whereas if you started with Oshawott like I did, you'll be quite happy with that. See, here's another example of the rain and how it boosts the power of Scald to epic magnitudes. Gotta love it. It's quite nice. I mean, it is just a Tranquil. There's so many stronger wild Pokemon in this route. Now that you have the Lucky Egg, you can actually fight some of the things here, and you'll gain good experience points for fighting them, even if they're not Audino. So it's quite nice if you're looking for some things to train against. This is a good spot to do it. Oh! What? That's not a Pokemon, just an ordinary trainer. Dude, don't call me just an ordinary trainer, alright? Do not, youngster Parker. I'm gonna show you just how unordinary, or no, I'm sorry, how extraordinary I am. Extraordinary. I mean extraordinary, of course. You and your stupid Derpitoad there. No one derps like Palpitoad does. But it does have that water type advantage that's taking, well, it's making full use of in the rain. So you just gotta be careful, particularly if you're using fire type Pokemon, because remember, your power is half. Well, at least your fire type attack's power is in the rain. Thankfully, that's not really an issue for me. Or Judo Mario, because it's just gonna show this thing up. Boom, look at that. Like a champ. Who wants to learn Bulk Up? Hey, that'll make it even bulkier. Can't go wrong with that. I generally like this move, even though I almost never use it. But I'm going to get rid of Rock Tomb in the meanwhile, because I can always reteach that later on. And Bulk Up may come in handy against some gym leader somewhere. I'm probably not going to be using Judo Mario against Skyla, because she uses flying types. And that just spells disaster. Oh, wow, that is a big bug! Look at that thing! We need to get an exterminator or something. That thing looks huge. It's like a... I don't even know what to describe that as. It's like a jumbo Wurmple with horns. Ugh. Scared you. I hate that. And look at that. What a jerk. What a jerk. It uses Protect, so when I'm using Fly, it's not even gonna work. Stupid bug. You're just as annoying as centipedes in real life. Even though I know you're not a centipede. Just, I don't know, that's the first thing you remind me of. Talking. When I talk, I don't listen, you know? I don't even listen to myself. So you get a whole ton of experience for knocking that thing out. If you can do it. And then a Shelmet that's also using Protect. Man, I just can't catch a break here. I'm gonna Air Slash this thing. Hope that'll do enough. Oh yeah, super effective. You're not an ordinary trainer. You're a strong trainer! Double exclamation point. You're so strong! Ah! There's an Ultra Ball right over here in between these two youngsters. And there's a wild Pokemon here. Another Pokemon you can find on the route. You can find a Zebstrika. Yeah, it's the zebra! Everyone wants a zebra. This thing's a champ. It's okay. Granted, it wasn't really that great, earlier on as a Blitzel. I mean, I've trained one in, I think, my first playthrough, and I didn't really care for it. But once it gets to, like, level 35 or so, it's okay. Once it gets on a little bit more, it can do, like, flame charge and stuff, which is kind of sweet. If you don't have an electric type, it's not the best out there. You're better off with Galvantula, and you're better off with Tynamo if you want to put in the effort in training it. But it's not a terrible choice either. Youngster Mikey, you have a Dwebble. Dweeble. Such a dweeb. It's Dwebble, not Dweeble. Don't worry, nerds. Yeah, so let's see if we can take this thing out. There's, like, a whole ton of Pokemon here, but you're gonna find that the wild Pokemon in the area are they're more like evolved and stuff, as opposed to, you know, the kind of wimpy basics you've been finding all over the place. What this means is they're great for training against, or at least much better than the alternative. Because let's face it stinks training against little weak basic dudes. Now that we're on the first evolution of them in the wild, hey, they'll actually give you some decent experience points. Trainers are still where it's at, though, so you want to make sure you fight every trainer you see, ever, every single one. Oh, it is on, bud. I'm gonna get revenge for that seed bomb of yours, you stupid semi-sage. Yes. Strong! What a trainer! Yeah, what a trainer! So good. Okay, let me show you just how many wild Pokemon are in the area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was not a very long distance to run at all. It's ridiculous. I hope you have some repels or something. Nothing was overly interesting, although they were all evolved Pokemon, so that's kind of nice. This guy here, he will trade you an Emolga, the flying electric squirrel that I hate oh so much, for a Boldore. And that's actually a good deal, because you can just go into the Chargestone Cave and catch a Boldore, and then trade it for a rather rare Emolga. Emolga can only be found in the shaking grass, and very rarely, I think only 5% of the time. Now this guy here will overpower me with his perfect combination or something. But depending on which game you're playing, the battle style he's going to take you on in will be different. In Pokemon White, he's going to take you on in a triple battle. This means all 3 Pokemon fighting at the same time. If you're playing Pokemon Black, though, he'll be fighting you in a rotation battle. So just bear that in mind. Now, if you're not familiar with the rules of a triple battle, basically, you have your center Pokemon. That can attack any of your opponent's Pokemon, because they're all kind of adjacent. But, let's say my Leavanny there, since it's on the far side, it can only attack the Liepard and the Swoobat. It can't reach over to the Watchog unless it has a move, well, whatchamacallit, Hope there. She can actually hit Liepard. Certain flying-type attacks and a few things here and there actually do let you go across the field, but as a general rule, anything, even stuff like Earthquake, it will only hit adjacent Pokemon, unless something in, like, my site's move deck says otherwise. What a jerk! Did you see that? Did you see what it just did to my Manta Blade? How dare you! You should be ashamed of yourself. Now, this trainer actually is nothing to sneeze at. He has some pretty high levels on his Pokemon, and the fact that it's a triple battle doesn't exactly make it a walk in the park, especially if you're not prepared. I should have been a little bit more prepared for this, but I think I kind of forgot. So, whatever. Well, like a double battle, trying to make sure you pick your targets right is really good. Sometimes double or triple teaming on things is the way to go, because that way you'll get them out of the way. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. We'll see. I really want to get Marriland healed, because I don't want him to get knocked out. So I'm going to use some Moo Moo Milk to heal him. I know I'm desperate, but I really don't want to lose this. That would stink. Oh my goodness, what a jerk. Let's just get this doofus out of here. Okay, so his Swoobat's gone. I think that thing was what was giving me the most trouble. Watchhog. Oh, you jerk! Look at that. You knocked out my Marriland! You knocked out my Deweye. How dare you? How dare you? Ugh. So I'm gonna Icy Wind. I'm actually letting Snow White do a little bit of the fighting herself, because I don't have that many options. Now this is a great time for me to bring in Judo Mario, because he'll be center field. Oh yeah, he's weak. Whoopsie, forgot about that. But hypothetically, if he were healed, it'd be great, because he could just punch whatever he wanted for super effective damage. Instead, I think Snow White's gonna have to do a bit of the heavy lifting here. Huh. Okay, well, I will use another Moo Moo Milk. Ugh. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna let Hope here use some turn to knock that Watchhog out and get a critical hit, no less. Can't go wrong with that. Torment. Okay, so now the game's pretty much over here. That Livebird's going down. And Snow White's gonna give it an Avalanche, which will do minimal damage. But, you know, why not? Okay, so I think I got this, bro. It's all good. We just gotta finish it up. Air Slash. See what I mean? Air Slash is one of those moves that can reach across the table. Not a lot of moves can do that, but most of them that can are flying type attacks. Bear that in mind. Did I overthink it because of unfamiliar rules? I don't know. I think you did alright there, buddy. Whew. Well, moving on. What do we got further down this route? There's still so much more. Oh, and there's a trainer here, a backpacker. Oh, a Pokedex, I see. That is the reason for your journey. Yep, that's it. Now, Marriland, my Duat, it's still knocked out. I don't like that. But I also know there's a place to heal coming up very, very soon. So I'm just holding out for that. Trying to get as much action as I can before I heal, since it doesn't really matter. Will it be enough? It's not quite enough. Oh, I hate you, stupid Minccino. No one sings at me and puts my Snow White to sleep. No, it's like a Sleeping Beauty or something. Or whatever. There's jokes there, somewhere. I'm just not thinking of them. Anyhow, I'll just send out Judo Mario, and he'll get the job done. He'll get some revenge. Actually, I won't even need revenge. I'll just Storm Throw that thing to oblivion. Charm? You cannot charm the Judo Mario. You just can't do that. I mean, he's like oblivious to your cute charm. He will not fall for your cute ways, Minccino. No. Storm Throw will get around that anyway. Nice try. Wah, wah. Impressive. That's what you'd expect. Yeah, well, duh. Anywho. So, further north, that's where the Celestial Tower is, but you know what? Before you go there, you might want to check this house out. There's some people in here that are drinking some soup. And, yeah, since you're yammering, whatever. So talk to this lady here. She will heal up your Pokemon if they're weak, which is nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, there's that soup there. Ugh. Who wants soup with vegetables in it? These meals are always nothing but vegetables. Yeah, you'll eat them vegetables there, you whippersnapper. Yeah. Make use of that house in case you need to heal, because there's still a lot of trainers you can fight on this route. It's a long route. Kinda. Actually, there's just a lot of trainers on it. It's not really that long itself. Pokemon Ranger Mary here. She has a Swadloon on her team. Level 30. Just kind of chilling in its cloak. Thankfully, I've got Snow White here. She's actually fighting. I want to give her a chance. She's getting so close to leveling up and evolving. And then it will actually be good. I really want that ice thing. This is so sweet. Just making me thinking of delicious ice cream cones. I love ice cream cones. Huh. Okay, so you got a little bit to go, but you're getting there. Oh, joy, a Simipour. Well, that's just swell. Especially since it's going to get boosted in the rain. Huh. Well, I better send out Mantiblade, because he knows how to handle this thing like a boss. Alright. Champ of the world. Come on, Razor Leaf that monkey. Show it a thing or two. Yeah, you just don't tango that way. No siree. You do not mess with my grass bug thing. Yeah. He will slice you up. However, Tranquil, on the other hand, may very well mess with this ice bug thing. So I'll send Snow White in again, since I actually think she may have a shot against this Tranquil. After all, you know, that's why I'm training up an ice type, because it's gonna be good against the flying gym, of course. And hopefully later on the dragon gym, because that's always a pain if you don't have an ice type. And I don't usually carry an ice type. Out of all of my 5 playthroughs of the game, this is the first time I've used an ice type on my team. So, I'll just have to bear that in mind. Another! And another! Wild Pokemon! It's getting so boring. Ugh. So many. So there's a PP up here, which you might as well pick up. Other wild Pokemon. Now, I might have been fighting some of those and gaining experience, so don't freak out if you were paying an unusually high amount of attention and notice that my Pokemon are higher level than they were. It's because I may actually be fighting those battles. It just isn't worth it showing you a 30-second clip of me knocking something out. It's so boring. It's so boring, because like half the time it's waiting for attack animation and stuff. I mean, that's weak. It's really weak, bro. Now, speaking of weak, this Solosis here, this is pretty darn wimpy. Look at that. But it has an edge. See my Snow White there? That's what I'm telling you. It actually got into this epic fight against this Strika. It was alive by 1 hit point. It was a long fight. It was against a wild Pokemon, and I got paralyzed. Darn it. I just hated that. I didn't show it, but that's why it's paralyzed and a little weaker. And it really wants revenge. It's not looking too good. Come on, Snow White, you can do it. Oh, man, and this is something you should be good against, an Axew. This is like what you were trained for. This is what you were bred upon. No, don't do it. No. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, you are going down now. I am gonna get the swiftest, most vicious revenge you have ever seen served on a plate. Yes, I will return. That actually didn't do as much as I thought. Mantiblade, hey, stop slacking there, bud. You don't want to fall behind now, do you? No, sirree. I thought you were one of my What the heck? Mantiblade, you are not doing a good job. I am going to take away your dinner if you keep this up. I did my best. I'm satisfied. Yeah, well, I'm not voting for Pedro. Jeez, he really wrecked me. This is what a tree gave me, an Asper berry. Well, I need to rush raise strong Pokemon slowly, whatever. So 2 more sets of wild Pokemon just to get to 1 stupid Max Ether. Oh, joy of the world. Why did I do that? And then there's another wild Pokemon here. Now, I've fought a million of these things up till this point, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll catch it. Because I don't think I do quite enough to knock it out anyway. So I'm going to actually catch this one since I don't have it. And did you hear that? It was that whee sound. Boom! There we go. Another critical capture, as it's oftentimes called, which is a lucky event in which the ball you throw pretty much has a super duper duper high capture rate, and it only shakes 1 time. Can't argue with that. I mean, I didn't really need it against the Watch Home, so I'm gonna go back and heal. And you know what? There's a little bit more on Route 7 off further east, which I'll cover in the next episode. And after that, I will check out Celestial Tower further north.